Curse season 1 all finished up. It is trending number 1 on Netflix. It seems to be doing quite well, and I've just finished watching it, and I have to say I thoroughly enjoyed it. This is one of the better shows I've seen recently. During the last few months, good TV has been a little bit hard to come by, and I find myself just craving to absorb each and any show that I can get my hands on, and if it's good, even a bigger bonus. Cursed, I loved it, highly enjoyed it. Not a perfect show, had some little flaws throughout, but overall very much enjoyed it. Found myself enjoying it more and more as we progressed through the episodes, and I find myself sitting here now very excited for a season 2 whenever that may happen. Let's go through some good and bad. Let's just get some bad points out of the way. One of my biggest pet peeves of this show was the special effects and those weird transitions between scenes that we'd see each episode. They were just awful. They were the low point of the show. I could never tell, are those little cartoon drawing scenes real or are they not? Like we had in episode 10, we have this moment where Morgana kills the widow, and it's just done in a cartoon scene, and I'm thinking, that seems like a pretty major point, and when it's done in the cartoon scene, like I'm never quite sure if it's what is actually happening or not, and I guess they're actually happening, but I just didn't like them. They could have done transitions in a different way. That information could have been shown in a different way, and very minor thing, but one thing I didn't like. And to go along with that, the special effects were terrible in this show. Let's just be honest. That final scene with Merlin and all the lightning, it was like going back to the original Mortal Kombat movie, and it looked the same, and I just didn't really enjoy that. There were some other moments as well. It wasn't all awful, but a lot of it just not very good. That's not a huge deterrent from the show, though. As much as there is magical beings and creatures, most of it was pretty minor, and little things like the veins, the leafy veins on Nimwe's face, they were actually quite fine, and like not something that really stuck out as a real negative. Okay, let's leave that negativity in the past. Let's focus on some good. I really enjoyed the story. Let's just go there. There's lots of different factions going on in this show. We have Nimue and the Fae. We have Merlin, who's kind of his own deal. We get little snippets of like the Shadow Lords and tons of red paladins. We have Uther Pendragon and all of his minions. Later on, Cumber comes in with his Vikings, and we have the Red Spears, and they're all important. They all play a factor in the show, and it matters what they all do. They're not just there for a little bit extra obstacles for our main characters to overcome. Those factions are posturing against each other, especially we saw at the end with the Red Paladins and Uther's forces kind of going against each other, and then Cumber coming in and making a deal with the Red Paladins. It's all very interesting, and we aren't just sitting there thinking, okay, get back to the good guys. Show us what the good guys are doing. We're not doing that. We're not just kind of following along with what Nimue's doing. There's lots of other cogs moving in this show, and it really heightens it, and almost to the point where I kind of want to jump in and get into the books, because there's a lot of little details that you don't always get conveyed in a TV show, especially with little minute details on like how the magic works and like where people's powers are coming from, and then when you have all these interesting factions, then you end up with like Rugen and his group, Rugen the Leper King and all his group. Like what is their deal? Like I feel like you could probably get a lot more juicy information out of that in the book, because they're just kind of a flash in the pan, like. And then like you have little things like Merlin and the fisherman, like what was their relationship? Like the fisherman was saying like, remember what you did to father, remember what you did to father. And it's like, are you Merlin's brother, or are you just kind of saying that as a person who Merlin killed their father, or like what's going on there? And I feel like you'd get some more of that information in the book, but all those little elements really have me intrigued to know more about this world, learn more about these characters, and just experience what's going on in Cursed even more. Another thing I enjoyed was that this is a twist on a tale that we all know and have heard several times. Like there's tons of versions of Arthur, King Arthur, Knights of the Round Table, and this is another spin. Like the Merlin character doesn't feel like anything we've seen before when dealing with Merlin. Same with Arthur, Gawain, Lancelot. They're all handled very well, and something that I really appreciated as someone watching the show. I think that's going to wrap up my little review. If you haven't watched Cursed yet, I highly recommend that you hop on Netflix and give it a try. Very good, worth your time, and it's a show that definitely improves and hooks you more the deeper you get in. So, be willing to give it an episode or two chance if it's not catching your appetite right off the start. And that is going to wrap up my quick review here. As always, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you later.